Hello, everyone. Welcome in. I found some glaring issues in the search warrant for Reckless Ben, and I think that these issues could ultimately lead to a successful Frank's motion and Frank's hearing. And so, with that, let's just jump right into them. So, for purposes of this argument, we will be focusing in on these two paragraphs, which read later, a third party individual shared information about how they have, quote, a bunch of YouTubers, end quote, renting out their Airbnb. This fits the nature of Benjamin Schneider's group. An unmarked police unit went to the address of Redacted in American Fork to scope out the area and observed the same Chevy Malibu parked in the driveway that was associated with Benjamin Schneider. It is known that Benjamin Schneider is arranging various amounts of individuals to go to the victim's residence and enter his property as well as hang defaming signs. Officers contacted the homeowner of the Airbnb to inquire about video footage. The homeowner was cooperative and provided video footage that displayed Benjamin walking into the basement apartment at exactly 15:58 hours on this day. The homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possible stolen Legos that they had taken. The officer would like to search for said items. The first thing we should take a look at is the very first sentence here. Later, a third party individual shared information. You always want to question where the police get their information from and how. This seems a little bit too good to be true, in my opinion. It reads as though randomly later, they just got some information about how a bunch of YouTubers are staying at this Airbnb. That is a bit questionable. Is it enough to get a Frank's hearing? Maybe not, but we have more. The next thing I'd like you to take note of is how it says about how they have a bunch of YouTubers renting out their Airbnb. And when reading that statement, does it ring to you as someone who owns the Airbnb? We can continue. So we're questioning how and why this information was provided to the police officers. Now we're questioning if this person has an ownership connection to the Airbnb based off the language in the search warrant. And we are now dealing with the fact that they are listed as a third party individual. This seems to potentially distance the person not only from the situation that's going on with Reckless Ben, with Josh Johnson, and the entire debacle, but also potentially from them getting to discussing the homeowner. So to me, this is reading like randomly a third party informed the police that a bunch of YouTubers are staying at this Airbnb. The police officers then go and scope out that Airbnb, find a car that matches the other people connected to Reckless Ben, and then it says the officers contacted the homeowner of the Airbnb to inquire about video footage. The homeowner was cooperative and provided that video footage. Now, what's interesting here is they contacted the homeowner of the Airbnb, but the alleged third party individual who randomly shared information to the police officers seemed to potentially claim ownership of the Airbnb as well, which calls into question why it's written like this. Is there really a secondary owner of the Airbnb? This just calls way too many things into question. Let's list out the possibilities. So based on the odd wording of this search warrant, we are left with a question as to if there's one or more owners who had contact with the police in this case. And to me, that leaves only three potential situations, in my opinion. Number one, there is a third party who is connected to the Airbnb who randomly told police a bunch of YouTubers were staying there. Number two, the third party and the owner could potentially be the same person. Or number three, there was no contact from a third party, and that was completely fabricated. This leaves us with even more questions. Number one, if the third party said it was their Airbnb, why didn't the police reach back out to them for the footage? Number two, if the third party and the homeowner are the same person, why wouldn't they mention the stolen Legos in the first report? And number three, if the third party and the homeowner are not the same person, why didn't the homeowner report the stolen Lego conversation before the police reached out to them? The police themselves, in their search warrant, assign possession by use of the word they. As you see with the blue circle down at the bottom, they had heard that it was possible Legos they had stolen. Now, everyone who's aware of this situation realizes that if that phrase were even uttered by anyone with Reckless Ben or Reckless Ben himself, they are very likely referring to the Legos that they believe Bam and all the cohorts had stolen, that they had stolen, not that they themselves had stolen. But based on this phrasing, the police assume possession of stolen items based on the word they. And so if we are going by the police's own standard of assumed possession, earlier in their own document, they say that a third party shared information about how they have a bunch of YouTubers renting out their Airbnb. And if that is supposed to indicate possession, why would the homeowner be contacted later to inquire about video footage and it be listed as if these are two separate individuals? If it's possible that they are the same individual, this is not good for the search warrant. This is reason for a Franks hearing. A Franks hearing would allow Reckless Ben to challenge the truthfulness of the police officers who wrote this search warrant. And since we have these potential possibilities based on the wording of the search warrant, I think it is possible that Reckless Ben would not only have a Franks hearing, but could potentially be successful in undermining the truthfulness of the police officers who wrote the search warrant. Because we still need to figure out, number one, is there a third party who is connected to the Airbnb who randomly told police that there were a bunch of YouTubers staying there? Was this a third party and the owner being the same person? Or was there no contact from a third party in the first place? All of these questions can get answered by way of a Franks hearing, which I believe, based on the wording in this search warrant, Reckless Ben is not only entitled to, but could potentially be successful with. Thank you so much if you made it this far in this video. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I do genuinely enjoy the conversation. If you're interested in following cases like the Alexi Treviso case to trial, please subscribe as I'll be covering it all along the way with a legal focus. It's your girl Friday. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.